AFC North.
I don't trust the Ravens in terms of staying healthy, and I don't trust the Ravens in terms of certain defensive aspects of the way they're built right now. Marlon Humphrey's going to be out for a month, maybe more. They don't have a lot of corner depth like they used to. It's very weird. Marcus Peters gone. Tavon Young has not stayed healthy. They haven't really found guys in free agency that have helped that kind of thing. And their pass rush, they don't have a lot of great edge rushing depth. Lamar Jackson, I think his volume in terms of the passing offense will be a lot better, but I'm worried about their offensive line too. They've had trouble staying healthy too. So I'm going to go the Ravens last 9-8. Steelers and Browns will tie 10-7. Browns, I like the Jim Schwartz addition. Jim Schwartz did a fantastic job with the Eagles when they won their Super Bowl with corners that were horrible. Sidney Jones and like Patrick Robinson. The Browns have Denzel Ward. They got Greg Newsome. They got a kid in Emerson that played very well last year as a rookie. Philly's pass rush was probably better, but the Browns pass rush is very good too. Offensive line still very strong, and their receiving depth is very good too. As far as the Steelers, I loved their draft a lot. I think their defense still going to be very good. They're going to get a lot of sacks. They're going to get a lot of turnovers. Pickett is a little concerning for me. He's kind of more of a basic quarterback, but I do think their offensive line will be better, and they're not going to have to worry about lack of balance in that. So I'm going to say the Steelers 10-7 and 13-4 for the Bengals. Their schedule's really easy. Their secondary, I liked a lot of the prospects though in that draft. Lou Adamaro, one of the best defensive coordinators in the NFL. I think he'll be able to adjust to that. I think the offensive firepower is still there. They bring in Orlando Brown, number 1 seed in the AFC.
I think the Browns stink. I think Amari Cooper is the only decent player they have on that team. Deshaun Watson's not the same player. He needs to stop playing with himself. That really sent him down. His career could be over. I don't like this defense. This defense can't stay healthy. I wonder what the Browns are going to be all season long when their schedule gets harder. So I expect them to fall off pretty quick. I think the Browns don't win more than 6 games this year. I think they're the worst team in the division. Second team, I think it's Pittsburgh. I think Pittsburgh wins 10 games. I think their schedule falls in their favor. I think they're one of the best defenses in all of the NFL. I think they're going to prove it. They're going to get at the quarterback, and they're going to put pressure. I think Najee Harris is going to have a fantastic year. I expect him to have 1,300 yards. And I think Kenny Pickett, as much as everybody thinks Kenny Pickett is the worst quarterback in this class and in this division, I think that he has the weapons. I think George Pickens is going to have a great year. I think he's going to win the number 1 job. Johnson's going to have a better year than he did last year. I think this team is going to be offensively sound. I think they're going to be as good a defense in the NFL, so I expect them to win 10 games. At number 2, I think it's Cincinnati. Everybody keeps blowing up Cincinnati. Look how good they are. Look what they added. They added Brown. They added this. They can add all they want to the offensive line. All season long until the second half of the season, they couldn't stop a lick. They couldn't stop anybody. So adding Brown doesn't make a difference. The guy has a thorn up his ass, and he took more money going over there. So I don't think Brown's going to help this team any more than what they lost in Jesse Bates, who went to Atlanta. I think Jesse Bates' loss in the offseason is going to kill their secondary. They're going to have problems in the secondary. I think Cincinnati is the second-place team. I think they win 11 games at most. And then at 1, I think it's the Baltimore Ravens. Defense is good. This offense is good. And by the way, the defense didn't even play at the top of their game. It's a trade for Smith. I think this team is as good defensively as any team in the division. That says a lot about the division. And Lamar Jackson's going to have a fantastic year. Weapons all over the field. They have J.K. Dobbins. I like Edwards. I think they have more than enough weapons to put up the numbers that they need to win. Give me Baltimore, 12-win season. And by the way, Tucker breaks another record, hitting a 70-yard field goal kick this year. AFC South.
Colts are last. They win 3 games. Not only did they trade Jonathan Taylor at the trade deadline, they were also going to trade Michael Pittman, and I think he'll be a valuable piece to a contending team. Texans, 5 wins. I think they'll be pesky. Defense has been very good, and I think they improved in the front 7 enough where I could see that being a tougher out for them. Second is the Titans. I'm going to say 9 wins for them. When they're fully healthy, they're one of the best front 7s in the league. I think their secondary is underrated, too, with a lot of good young corners. It's just a matter of if they can get a passing attack going that quickly, because they have enough of the running game, and their offensive line should not be as bad as they were last year. But Jacksonville is the best team. Their one issue that I'm worried about with them is their offensive line a little bit, but they're getting some guys back healthy, and their secondary, which I thought was a big problem for them last year, did improve.
You didn't like the draft pick, Harrison?
Could be good, but again, I think they still have other holes.
He's looked good, I heard.
The interior. That could definitely help one tackle side. We'll see on Cam Robinson, who I think is out for the first 4 games. So I think they're going to be 11-6 division champs.
I think the Colts are the worst team in the division. I think they win 1 game. I don't trust Richardson. Like the kid's talent. I love what I saw at the Combine, but Combine doesn't sell me anything. And Justin Fields, it took him a little while to figure that out, but really proved himself at the end of the season. I don't know if Richardson's even close to what Justin Fields is. I think the Texans, I think they can win 5 or 6 games, but I'm even going to predict they win 7 games. I think they're a lot better than people think. Pierce is a great running back. They have good weapons, young weapons, and I think C.J. Stroud's a lot better than people think he is. I think he's the best quarterback in this class. I think he's got a great arm. I think he's going to prove, and I think he has a lot to prove where Bryce Young was drafted. I think he believes that he was better than Bryce Young. C.J. Stroud is going to show, even with the offensive line woes, that he is a great quarterback. At number 2, I would say Tennessee. I think the Jaguars' schedule, it does get hard. Is Trevor Lawrence going to be protected? Travis Etienne has to stay healthy. I think he's a big part of this offense. Titans winning 8 games. Jaguars win 10 games.